All right, now it's time to talk about the G-spot.
One of my favorites.
I know. I can't wait for the cervix, which is my favorite.
Or the anal, which is my favorite. People talk about the G-spot as if it's like this thing that you either have or don't have, but the truth is that the G-spot is an area in your vagina that is developable. It's something that is getting bigger and juicier and much more alive the more direct stimulation you get on the G-spot.
I'm never going to forget the first time my G-spot was stimulated. Thank God for lesbians. When I was in college, I was in a relationship with a woman, and I don't know, maybe it was the second or third time we were having sex, and she put her fingers inside of me and she did this thing. She stimulated my G-spot, and I was like, what is happening? It was like many years later before I learned how to incorporate that sensation into an orgasm. Mm-hmm. But it was, the intensity of it was so powerful.
Yes. And I want to say that it's not so powerful for everyone right from the beginning, because it's something that it is possible to develop it, and it's possible for every woman to develop it. And at the same time, I don't want you to put pressure on yourself as if you have to have it. It's the last and the least important thing and least exciting to do stuff if you feel pressure to do it. The G-spot is, for me, it's a little bit like the freedom spot. Like, it needs a lot of love and attention to start to feel pleasure and respond well.
Yeah, I know. I was a clit girl.
Like what?
Until I was mid-30s.
Mid-30s, yeah. Right? Yeah, me too. I found my G-spot much later in life, and I think it meant to be like that.
Yeah, I mean, some people, that's how they orgasm from the beginning, but that certainly wasn't the case for me. So once I discovered that there was this whole other layer of sensation, I still always needed clitoral stimulation with my G-spot stimulation, which also isn't true for everyone, but it was certainly true for me. And so for me, the combination, because fingers are like the best tool for the G-spot because they're nimble and they can bend. You can definitely, use a dildo or a cock to get your G-spot, but I think it's much more powerful if you get that, the famous come hither. And I think it's like, there's the come hither, but there's also like both the in and out, and so like your fingers are moving, but also you're moving not so big in and out, but like a little bit in and out. Like that combination seems to be both the one that gets the most intensity of orgasm, but also the one that like prepares me for squirting if that's going to happen as well, because it's like sort of like pulls the juices out. And so the combination of that and my vibrator on my clit, like if I can have two good strong fingers in there working their magic and the vibrator's on my clit, and I've got free motion of my legs where I can bend them and squeeze them, and that's when the explosions happen.
Let us tell you what to expect when your G-spot is being stimulated. First, you're going to start feeling like warmth climbing through your torso and your body, and you're going to start naturally to arch your back. You're very likely to make sound, because this is like the pelvic and the sound are connected, and it's almost like impossible to not make sound when you have G-spot stimulation, especially if you're close to orgasm. It takes over.
And sometimes it's what takes you there.
You really can't help it.
Yeah.
It's like
you
hear
make the
screaming
noise
and you don't know who's that. Oh, that's me.
And you make the noise and like, the orgasm arrives.
Sometimes you might feel a little bit competition between the G-spot orgasm and the clitoral orgasm, because the clitoral orgasm is all about squeezing and the G-spot is all about pushing. If you actually want to experience the G-spot orgasm, you might need to let go of your vibrator for a second and just let your bear down, do the pushing out and bear down. If you worry about peeing, don't worry about it. You might pee. Who cares? Make sure you have something that protects your mattress.
And I think in that moment when you get to that level of sensation and you feel like you're going to pee, that's actually the pre-ejaculation moment, right? And so it's like you push it out, and that's when the ejaculate comes squirting out, which is really fun. And again, we don't want to have any pressure like you need to ejaculate. You're not there to do party tricks. You might ejaculate, you might not. Sometimes it feels good, sometimes it doesn't really add much for people, so it doesn't have to be like a goal. I think really it's to find out what gives you the most pleasure and sensation. And for you, we're a little different in this way. Like, you have to bear down for your G-spot orgasm. Mine is really combined with clit, and so I never bear down. It's really still the squeezing, but the G-spot sensation. And I think that's something that we need to say over and over again. Everyone's different. And so learn your pussy, learn your partner's pussy, and don't think this happened this way with my last partner, so it should happen this way now. When people say that to their partners, I'm like, no, I want to kill them. Don't compare. Every pussy's different, and you want to fully learn and embrace the pussy that you have and the pussy that you're making love to.
And your own pussy is different at different times of the month, so the G-spots can be a little elusive and like travel around as well. Like, for example, there are times that it feels more deeper, much deeper when I'm closer to my to bleeding, and also your desire for G-spot stimulation is going to change throughout the month. There will be times that you're going to feel much more, oh, I just don't want to have anything inside me, or that times that you're going to feel like, yes, need a lot depth and width inside me, and definitely this hooking with the fingers.
So when you first start to explore the G-spot, you want to start with like slow circular massages with the hooked fingers, and just start to, you can tap or you can press or you can just like rub kind of slowly. And as the pleasure gets more intense, then you can like deepen and quicken the finger touch. And it's
do that, I feel.
I know. It's surprising how hard some G-spots can take pressure. So you want to sort of like watch your partner's reaction, or you want to tell your partner if you're being stimulated, you want to say like, oh, I can take it harder, or, you know, like, can you go a little deeper, more pressure, or lighter, softer, that's too much for me. There's definitely guidance needed with every, you know, with clitoral orgasm, with G-spot orgasm, with cervical orgasm, but definitely guide your partner to touch with the right speed and pressure.
Don't forget to breathe.
Don't forget to breathe. And don't forget to scream. Wake your neighbors. I think when you make loud noises during sex, it inspires everyone in the neighborhood to have better sex. So be inspirational. And if you liked what we said here, please subscribe to our channel. Also, you can ask us questions in the comments below. We would love to answer your questions.
And next time, we're going to talk about cervical orgasms.
My favorite.
See you soon.